it's total chaos. I'm an immigration attorney, and the people who are being detained are being denied access to their lawyers. We used to prepare people for times like this, and we said, memorize our numbers so you can call us. They don't even get phone calls. Half the time, people can't even determine where their loved one is. And they're sending most people to Camp East Montana in El Paso, Fort Bliss. It's disgusting. Multiple people have died there. And they're sending everybody now who's apprehended, they're sending them to Camp East Montana. What does that mean for their chances of getting out? And this is a habeas petition that was granted. And they can't find the woman. That is the trouble. That is the trouble. They don't know where she is. And then a lot of people earn money in cash, and they're carrying large sums of money. And when they get detained, who gets that money?
What I've heard as well.
When they release people, they won't give back their work permit or their social.
That's what I'm hearing as well.
And do you know how hard it is to replace a work permit? Months. So that this operation is illegal on so many levels that it's hard to fathom. And the people who claim to be lawyers who are working for them, they have to quit their jobs. And that's why you've seen multiple people. A law clerk at the immigration court left because she can't handle it anymore.
Absolutely.
And these people are operating with no moral center. They have a hatred toward other people. We are losing the rule of law.
Civil rights attorneys and lawyers for those detained are pissed at what is happening.
Two new clients who are here from Afghanistan, they have green cards and they've been picked up by ICE and they're now being held in detention centers. The whole reason they're here is because they helped the US government abroad. They were translators, they worked for the army as contractors, and they were brought to the US after the government fell in Afghanistan because it was too dangerous for them to stay there. They lived on US military bases. They worked for the army, they worked for the Marines. Like, these are patriots. They were just like randomly picked up, and like ICE does not care that they have status, does not care that they worked for the government. And if they're deported, where do they go? Back to the Taliban-run government of their country of origin. Individual part aside, think about like the geopolitics of it. Who is ever going to want to work with the U.S. military again?
New York City Attorney Michael Foote goes over what DHS is doing.
There's a lawyer for ICE yesterday who said, "Judge, hold me in contempt so I can get some sleep. This job sucks." There are no like accidental hot mic moments in immigration court. We duke it out and say things off the cuff and have sidebars in court, but there is a moment when the judge says, "Okay, counselors, I'm going on the record now," and they turn on the recording device and it's a loud beep. It's like boop, boop. So everyone knows, shut up, we're on a hot mic. So this lawyer, she knew when she said that it was on the record. It's an interesting window into what's happening right now with DHS ICE. They are biting off more they can chew. They are detaining more people than the judiciary can process. And we're starting to see the system fail because of the volume of people that they're detaining.
How they are handling court proceedings, which he provides updates to daily on his social media.
DHS is out here just like checking boxes saying people don't qualify for bond when they actually do. 3 times this week I've gotten documents across my desk. DHS checked a box that said they don't qualify for bond. And then when I look at what kind of visa the person's on and I just research that visa, they absolutely do qualify. If you have a notice to appear from DHS that says you don't qualify for bond, do just a quick Google and double check and make sure. Don't take their word for it, because they are out here just saying people don't qualify for bond, they have to stay permanently in detention, and that is oftentimes not the case.
The deceit that the feds utilize.
If you're a migrant, put an American citizen's phone number on your dog's tag, because I've had multiple clients who were picked up by ICE and brought to a detention center. ICE just leaves your dog on the sidewalk, on the street, wherever they pick you up. They don't call animal control. So now your dog is wandering the streets, and whoever finds your dog is going to call the number on the tag. But if you're in a detention center, you're not going to be able to answer your phone. It's really stupid and it's messed up, but like, let's be pragmatic. We can avoid like a potential nightmare just by updating those little tags. They're like $5 online. We were able to get my clients' dogs back, but we had to go to the detention center, get our client's phone, and then we had to wait for whoever had the pet to call the number so that we could answer, because the phones were still locked.
and the sad reality of ICE's cruelty with how it's not just affecting children, which is horrible. It's not just affecting parents, which is horrible. It's not just affecting loved ones, which is horrible. It's also affecting their dogs, too. Another lawyer?
My question is, what are we negotiating for? What is it that we're trying to get? Because we know that they already will ignore the law. The First, the Fourth, the Fifth, and the 14th Amendments have all been thrown out of the window by this administration. In fact, we know that the opinion that was written by the judge that ordered the release of Liam and his father, it says this case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. This court and others regularly send undocumented people to prison and orders them deported, but do so by proper legal procedures. Apparent also in the government's ignorance of an American historical document called the Declaration of Independence, 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson enumerated grievances against a would-be authoritarian king over our nascent nation.
Texas Representative Jasmine Crockett would speak on it.
I just came from the San Francisco Immigration Court where there were 6 ICE agents waiting outside of the courtroom ready to round up immigrants and deport them if their cases were dismissed. I had to jump in and represent 5 people pro bono because the government was trying to dismiss their case. And if the government was successful, the ICE agents who were waiting literally outside the door would have picked these people up and deported them back to their countries. These guys had no legal representation and didn't really know what the government was trying to do until I explained it to them. But because I was there, the judge agreed to give them more time to find an attorney to respond to the government's request to dismiss their case. And because of that, they were not deported today. These types of stealthy maneuvers, these tactics by the government are happening at courts all around the country. And so please, this is a warning to everyone. Do not go into an immigration court without an attorney. In fact, don't go anywhere near an immigration court without an attorney. Please share this widely because you never know who's going to be saved just by this information. Remember, we keep each other safe.
This guy is an absolute saint and gives great advice to many.
If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities, we will find you, we will achieve justice, and we will do so under the Constitution and the laws of the United States. There are state prosecutors coming together right now to make sure that people understand there will be accountability. There will be accountability now. There will be accountability in the future. There will be accountability after Trump is out of office. This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are. In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them.
Meanwhile, Philly DA Larry Krasner brings the energy that so many Dems do not. I want to piggyback off that last one real quick. Larry Krasner is doing what a lot of DAs and lawyers should be doing right now, which is saying, we are going to find you. We are going to prosecute you. We are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Instead of having his back, the governor of the state, Josh Shapiro, who for some reason Stephen A. Smith just drools over, is going on Fox News saying that's wrong, agreeing with Brett Baier. My guy is trying to set himself up for a presidency run. He will not win, but this is exactly what centrist Dems do. They go to the middle. They go to the right. They cater to that. Yeah, this rhetoric is really wrong. Hey, Brett Baier, when you're golfing with the president as a journalist, do you ever ask him about his rhetoric? Do you ever check him on that? No, because that's where your bread is buttered. Beyond pathetic that Shapiro doesn't have a freaking spine to stand up for the Philly DA and instead throw him under the bus and feed him to the wolves as red meat to the red states and the red households that take in Fox News. Beyond pathetic. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.